What is going on about Super Sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today I'm joined by jDantastic for a discussion about a One Punch Man game. One Punch Man game. I said that way too fast. It's funny, I keep saying OPM because saying One Punch Man is too much of a mouthful, and I end up saying opium.
Like drugs?
I do not support drugs.
Are you on drugs?
Do not support. No, I'm not.
Drugs
Anyway,
are
so
bad.
the reason
Okay.
why Danny and myself decided to get together and talk about this is because, well, in case you haven't heard, there is a poll going around by Koei Tecmo and Gust, the developer, for the next possible anime game. And on their poll, they have stuff like Hunter x Hunter, Fairy Tail, One Punch Man, Naruto, Sword Art, and basically anything you guys can suggest. If you want to vote on that, if you haven't yet, it's going to be linked in the description below because that poll closes on February 8th. So go vote if you haven't, and make sure you tell everybody to vote as well. As of last time I checked, I believe Hunter x Hunter and Fairy Tail were winning, and it's top two. So you can vote for two games, which is good. Hunter x Hunter is still winning as of right now.
Yeah, I think it was Fairy Tail, Hunter x Hunter, One Punch Man. I think is the top three.
Yeah. And basically the reason we decided to get together is because Danny here doesn't believe a One Punch Man game would work. And then, again, I've seen this from a lot of people. I've talked about it literally a couple days ago on my channel as well, where a One Punch Man game could be fun. But the problem is, it's not that the game... Let me just kind of summarize what I said last time. A One Punch Man game would not be as OP as you think it is. When it comes down to anime being turned into a game... Pretty much every anime game doesn't make much sense in a way. For example, as I used in my last video as an example, in Dragon Ball Z Saga, so you have Goku fighting Cybermen as little regular bosses. That should never happen because if Goku punches Cybermen, they should technically immediately die. And then also Tenkaichi 3, you have Yajirobe, who is easily one of the best characters in the game just because of his abilities with the sensu beans. So when it comes down to what's actually
Yajirobe is a god, so let's not act like he's weak.
Yeah, well, whenever it comes down to like balances and how stuff transfers over from anime to games, it's always different. So in this case, a One Punch Man game will not work the same way as it does in anime, where basically Saitama punches everything and they immediately die. That's just, it wouldn't be fun. Again, my suggestion, actually I have two suggestions. The second one I'm going to talk about after Danny rigged up his point because somebody made a comment, with a really good idea, and I would love to see this. But the first thought I had was, well, One Punch Man in the form of a Dynasty Warriors beat 'em up, where you're just basically taking on a bunch of enemies at once, will be a lot of fun. I would love to play as Saitama, as Genos, as pretty much any character in that universe in a form of Dynasty Warriors game. I mean, yes, those games are kind of dull and repetitive, but at the end of the day, it'd be a lot of fun to even play as Sonic, like that ninja guy from the One Punch Man universe. It'd be a lot of fun to play as those characters, and that's just what the Dynasty Warriors games deliver. It's repetitive madness and just beat 'em up, killing a bunch of enemies at once type of thing, and that would be kind of fun with that. As far as the second game, I'll talk about it in a couple seconds. But Danny, why don't you think a One Punch Man game would not work?
So currently, and just to be fair, I want a One Punch Man game. I just don't know if we're ready for a One Punch Man game yet. Unless the only way that I could see it working for me right now is if it was like you create a character, essentially, like you create a hero, and you have to like work your way up through the ranks to try to become.
That was the suggestion I was going to talk about.
So like that's the only way that I would see it being fun, and you would like play alongside the characters from the show. You wouldn't actually play as the characters from the show. Maybe that could work, but I don't think it could work as like an actual game the way people would want it to work yet, because A, we haven't seen a ton of character development yet. B, we don't have a ton of story really yet. I mean, there's been some like boss battles and things like that, but in terms of like actual progression of a storyline, there really isn't much to go on. And C, I don't think you could play as Saitama. Yes, other anime games are like unbalanced in certain ways because you can play as certain characters and blah blah blah, but the fact that it's the whole basis of the show and the character is that he is overpowered. He is overpowered. He can beat any character with one punch. I mean, any character that he goes up against. So trying to balance that out, like, it wouldn't feel like I was playing One Punch Man. It would feel like I was playing just another standard fighter.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because, again, that was my second suggestion, where you create your own hero and then work alongside the other heroes. That could be a lot of fun. And if you really think about it, the One Punch Man story, it wouldn't be that exciting. I mean, the show is great. I love the manga, But if it was made into a game, it would be kind of cliche, where it's just like, hey, there's a big monster, go fight your way through waves of monsters, and then fight the boss at the end. I mean, that's kind of the format that would work. But honestly, if they had a create your own hero type of thing, where you fight along the top rank heroes, that could be a lot of fun. Now, the question is would people actually like that? So the question I have for you guys right now, comment below, would you like a One Punch Man game where you create a hero and you fight alongside Genos, alongside Saitama, alongside all the characters we saw in the show so far? Or would you just rather be a standard game where you play as the characters themselves, where, again, going back to the whole Dynasty Warrior system where you just beat up everybody and fight a boss? Like, would you guys like that? So
I think the thing that would be tough about that too, though, is like, if they decided to go that route, there would have to be so much customization to it, because the whole, like, so far, all the heroes that we've seen so far have been vastly different in their abilities. And so if it was like Xenoverse, where you're kind of like picking and choosing.
It's got to be more than that. It's got to be higher than Xenoverse.
Yeah, like you would just pick and choose certain moves. But I feel like that doesn't work in the One Punch Man universe, because each character is so vastly different. Like, they're not even remotely the same in the way that they fight. And so if you create a character, but you just have the same slapped on moveset as one of the other heroes, then that's not really that much fun. And so that would kind of take away from it. But I don't know. I want a One Punch Man game. But if I had to choose right now between a One Punch Man game and a Hunter x Hunter game, then my vote goes to Hunter x Hunter 100% of the time.
Yeah, and to those who are unaware of stuff that Gus has worked on, look up Knights of Azure, which I'll link in the description below. I'll do like a trailer or something, as well as the most recent game that they did. Wait, I can't think of another game that they did. Well, the one they're working right now is called Knights of Azure, which is a JRPG, and they're known for doing JRPGs. And I feel like if it comes down to a JRPG, a Hunter x Hunter game would work best. So would Fairy Tail as well. So honestly, between the list right now, Fairy Tail and Hunter x Hunter should be winning. If they're just wondering why One Piece and Naruto and Sword Art are at the bottom, it's because those anime already have games. I mean, freaking Naruto just came out. Storm4 just came out. So
I know that's what I kind of talked about that when I talked about telling people to go take the poll. I was kind of like, I mean, you can vote, and I had some comments of people that were like, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and I'm like, we just got games, and like we know that there's going to be another Dragon Ball Z game. We know that there's going to be other anime games. Like, there hasn't been a Hunter x Hunter game yet. There hasn't been like a solid Fairy Tail game yet. Like,
all I will say is look up Knights of Azure or click the trailer in my description below. Watch that trailer and now picture Fairy Tail or Hunter x Hunter in that format. You will love it. I mean, first of all, when was the last time you got an RPG anime game? It's been forever, actually. And if you think about it, I think Fullmetal Alchemist was the last one. That was on the PS2 days.
You could even do, now that I think about it, you could even do like create a character in the Hunter x Hunter world, and you can become a hunter. Oh my gosh.
No, not with that. What? That game will be, well, it'll be awesome, but think about the technicality with it, because you haven't gotten really that far.
There would be a lot of work to put into it, but you could follow your own like hunter path. I don't know. I think it'd be cool.
I say that because you're not completely done with the story, and I don't want to spoil it, but the powers in that series vastly change as you get towards the end of the story. Like in the beginning, you got, like the basic powers. You see Killua with electricity, and Gohan has his punch, his Jajunkin. But as you get further along, the powers that they introduce will be too complex to just have a character creation system around that. Plus, Hunter x Hunter is an amazing journey/story. For that, I would much rather get, the actual story that is Hunter x Hunter, following, the exam, the tournament, the York New stuff, the Chimera. Like, I would much rather get the actual story of Hunter x Hunter in the form of a game. At least
I guess that's true. And it's funny too, is that they could have like a whole like mini game built in just around Greed Island.
Yeah, exactly. As far as like the heroes in One Punch Man, it's more of a gag, and I feel like they could make that more. It'd be easier to develop, essentially. But as far as developing Nen-based creative power type of thing, as cool as it would just be really difficult to think about like the technicalities behind it. So. Also, you know what? I would love to see a fighting game as well to beat all these characters, to be honest. But, based on the stuff that Gus has done, this game that Gus will most likely work on is going to be a JRPG. It's not going to be a Dynasty Warriors game. It's not going to be a fighting game. It will most likely be a JRPG. So, again, look up the trailer in the description below for Knights of Azure. You will see how they did with that game. And just imagine either Fairy Tail or Hunter x Hunter in that format. And I feel like since both Fairy Tail and Hunter x Hunter are kind of like epic in terms of like length, like story and journey wise, they'll be the best for it. And if it was for me, I would vote for Hunter x Hunter. You already know me. I would vote for that any day.
And even if you don't agree, even if you don't want Hunter x Hunter or Fairy Tail or whatever, just go vote, because we just want to get as much information. We want to get them as much information as possible so that they can make the best game possible.
Yeah.
So even if you disagree with any of the points that we made or anything like that, your vote still counts.
Yeah. And also, one last thing that's probably going to be like a major boner killer. This is still very early stages. If they were to decide to work on a Hunter x Hunter or Fairy Tail game, we probably most likely won't see it for 2 to 3 years, to be honest. Like this is literally
considering they haven't even started on a game yet.
Yeah, this is literally Koei Tecmo taking data for what the fans want and then giving it to the development team and saying, hey, work on this next. So
But I mean, that's really cool that they're thinking so far ahead that they're like, you know what, why don't we ask the community what game they want? And plus, that makes me think like once they decide what game they might make, then they can, throughout the whole process, I feel like they would be completely open with it and be like, do you guys like this element? Do you like this? And they would ask the community and we would basically help them make the game that we all want. And I think that would be like really freaking cool.
Yeah. So votes. And no, it's not coming out tomorrow. I had to adjust that because I got a question the other day on Twitter that was like, hey, so when's the game coming out? They haven't even started yet, dude.
So they actually have all 10 games made and they're going to release the one. No, I'm just kidding. That's not true.
Yeah.
None of the games are made.
Yeah. So make sure you guys vote. But ultimately, we just want to discuss One Punch Man one more time. I think, honestly, if they do One Punch Man in the format of create a hero and you work alongside the heroes, that would be the perfect One Punch Man game.
If they did it right. Right, then that would work and that would be cool. I just think as far as like, as the series goes and the characters that we have within the series, I don't think we're ready for a One Punch Man game yet.
Honestly, and also as far as the people say there's not enough content for One Punch Man, it doesn't necessarily have to follow the manga. Because again, there's no real story to One Punch Man. It's just about the super strong guy and basically monsters that appear. So literally they can take anything off that universe and create a game around it, if you think about it.
You know what they need to do is just make a One Punch Man cross Dragon Ball Z game.
Yeah, let it happen. Don't start that war. Don't start that war. Anyways, is there anything else you wanted to say?
Nope.
All right. Well, with that said, let us know your thoughts on the One Punch Man game concept that we just discussed about, you create your own hero and then you fight alongside the heroes rather than playing as the actual characters. Would you guys like that or not? Comment below. And don't forget to vote. Tell everyone to vote. I'm telling you, stop watching this video right now. Go tell your mom to vote. Go tell your father to vote. Go tell your ugly neighbor to vote or something. I don't know. And, let's see what we get from Gus in the future. And, of course, when we get more information, we will let you guys know what is happening with this. But the poll closes February 8th, so if you're watching it before then, vote. If you're watching after, well, sorry you missed the poll. But, Anyway, so anything else?
Nah.
All right, well, we'll see all you amazing people in the comment section below.
Okay, bye.